As of April 17th, 2006, I have been completely sober and building a life in recovery. I was feeling so empty and so scared. There's almost not a word for it, because I got to the point where I didn't want to influence my kids and my husband's lives this way anymore, and I didn't know how to stop it. So it led me to continuing to look for a place to go, because I was finally convinced then that I did need to go to, or at least try, residential treatment. I had to surrender to the disease, which didn't mean give up. It meant give in and give myself over and find some humility. For me, that looked like asking for help and following directions. And those are two things that are very simple concepts that I use to this day. It's almost silly, if not ironic, that I didn't want to go away because I couldn't imagine being away from my family for 30 days. How would that work? I also didn't know what it was going to be like when I got home. And that was another thing that was probably the hardest thing, was how I handled being a mom when I got home. But with time and action builds trust. And I am living that right now, because I would not have the relationship with my kids, I would not have the relationship I have with my grandson without one day at a time rebuilding who I am, which rebuilt trust. Virginia is just a beautiful community of recovery. Whether it's Franklin County, Roanoke, or anywhere else in the state. I got sober in Williamsburg, so that has a very special place in my heart. I just love the fact that there are so many more resources today than there were even 10 years ago, let alone 18 years ago when I got sober. Running is a big part of my recovery. I will admit that. I am very grateful and even surprised at 62 years old. I still get to run as much and as often and as meaningfully as I do. I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I am. Because many people have seen me and very, well-intentioned said, oh, well, you traded one addiction for another, or that's how you stay sober, is by running. Well, I'm very careful that not only for my own sake, but for those that I may influence, that I make sure that I say that. I don't run to stay sober, because it's part of my program of recovery. It's part of my physical and mental well-being. But there's many times that I've been injured, sick, my running has been taken away. So I always hope to be able to run in some way. But if I can't, and someday when I can't anymore, I still have who I am. Hopefully the best version today that I can be, and with or without my running. I get to do so many wonderful things with it, and it's how I met Chris Herron in 2014, which led me to do my job today. My title is Director of Active Engagement, which is probably the most fun title I've ever had. What I do is raise money and awareness for the work that my colleagues do every day. And Herron Project is an organization that provides free resources to help people navigate the situation wherever they are, meeting people where they are, whether they're the person that needs help, whether they're the person that maybe has relapsed, someone who needs recovery coaching, someone who needs assistance in their journey at any step of the way, before, during, and after. The thing that is most important to me is who I am, and that is something that I actually have a tattoo with the words, "It is well with my soul." And the words resonated with me so deeply when I first got sober, because it is about the fact that it is well with my soul, regardless of what goes on around me. Because if I put my recovery, if I stake my recovery on anything that's external, or even internally, if I stake it on how I'm feeling, I'm in trouble. So I stake it on what I know, not what I feel. And I know it is well with my soul. Recovery is here.